Hey guys, welcome back to Best of Steph. So today we have a video. Our video is going to be a 5-month update of what happened to me personally and to my loved ones in November, and how I'm coping and how I'm doing things with my mom not being around. And I decided to do this video. Disclaimer, I might cry. Disclaimer, there will be mixed emotions. But I'm gonna talk about everything that happened that day, and I'm gonna talk about something very serious because it's been bothering me, and I don't know if it's been bothering my other family members, but it's been bothering me personally, and I just wanted to address it just because I just wanted to address it. So let's go on with the video, but before that, don't forget to like, share, and subscribe to the Best of Steph. Hit that thumbs up and then hit the bell button, that way you guys can be notified when I upload a video. Before we start, I just want to let you guys know that I will be having a wedding series that I'm going to be starting, and then I'm going to have a how to start your YouTube channel, and probably later on in the future how to start your own business, just because I started my own business and so far it's going so well, and I just want to share that with you guys. So let's go on with the video, guys. It's been a really hard 5 months without my mom, just because you guys know that I'm used to always hanging out with my parents. Living with my parents is the only thing that I know how to do. I don't go out. Me and my sisters are house girls. So if you didn't know, we're house girls. We don't really go out, and if we go out, we have to ask for permission, and we have to tell them the day, the time, who we're going with, where are we going, when are we leaving, what are we gonna eat, and what's our room, blah blah blah. So it's been really hard these 5 months because, as you guys know, it's my last year here where I live, and I wanted to live it up with my mom. Me and my mom were planning stuff to do, and slowly everything just bam, crashed, died, and everything that I thought of, everything that I wanted to do was not even I had no motivation. So I'm just gonna go with that day. I'm gonna talk about my mom's condition. So my mom, she has arthritis, rheumatoid arthritis. She has severe asthma, so she had to take 3 different pumps, and then a night machine thing that she had to use for her to breathe if she had her little things. And then she had panic attacks. She had, what did that woman not have? She basically had everything in the book. And me and my sisters and my dad, we made sure that we did everything possible for her to be happy, live a happy life, have everything that she wanted. But God chose something else. Just to put this out there, my mom did not die because of COVID. One of the things that I am going to address is, for those of you that keep saying that my mom died because of COVID, or keep asking about how did my mom die, this is why I'm making this video, or if she died because of COVID. There were a couple people that really got me upset, because instead of asking, hey, what happened to your mom, they were just saying, oh, your mom died because of COVID, oh, your mom this, or your mom that, or oh my god, was it COVID? And then we explained to them what was happening and what had happened, and that she didn't die because of COVID, and they kept saying that she died because of COVID. So I just want to address something, and it's about a couple of people saying that my mom died because of COVID, or asking what happened to her, and then they just keep asking and they keep asking. If we tell you something, don't keep contradicting us, telling us that she died because of COVID, because if you don't know anything, you shouldn't be saying anything. Right now, it got me really upset, because there were a couple people that kept telling me, oh, did your mom die because of COVID? Or they were telling my sister, oh, did your mom die because of COVID? And we literally told them the story of how my mom passed away. And then they kept on, and they kept on. So I just want to let you know that if you die because of COVID, they don't let you do a funeral or a little memorial or whatsoever. You literally see the person from a distance just because they died because of COVID. And my mom, if she died because of COVID, we weren't able to do those 2 services that we did. A service over here where we live, and then a service in Puerto Rico, and then the funeral, which was the most beautifulest thing that I've ever seen in my whole entire life. A queen deserved what she deserved. Like, me, my dad, and my sister, we made sure that my mom lived a happy and healthy life. We made sure that she got everything that she wanted, just because she sacrificed her whole life for us. And although we couldn't do what we wanted, which was me and my sister wanted to graduate, we wanted her to see us in our profession. We wanted to, right now, I told my mom, hey, when I make this money as a psychologist or as a psychiatrist in the future, I want to take you out on the best vacation that you've ever had just because you deserve it. When I graduate, you're graduating with me because you made this happen. You and Papi made this happen. And it's sad that she wasn't able to see it. And sometimes in the whole process, I regretted not continuing school because she didn't get to see me graduate because I took a break from school. So in a way, I'm kind of frustrated with myself because of that. But in another way, it's like, hey, you can't, you needed that break. You have your reasons why you took that break. But that's not the point. But the people that keep saying or keep questioning, stop with those comments, because right now, I feel like people forget that people die of natural causes. Like, did you forget that people die because of heart attacks? Or, someone can choke on something and they can die. Or someone out of nowhere in their sleep. They're sleeping and they don't breathe. Like, you can choke on many different things. You can die in many reasons. It's not because of COVID. Like, I understand COVID this and everyone's freaking out about because of COVID. But don't start opening your mouth and going around saying stuff when you don't even know the story. And basically, I'm just going to go with the whole day of everything that happened that day. It was November 18th. It was my little sister's birthday. And that day, I only had one class, I believe. Or I had a class. So I have a 9 a.m. class, 9:30 to 10 something. And then I have another class at 12:30 to 1. But then that day, it was a Wednesday. So Mondays and Wednesdays. So Mondays, the teacher just had class, and then the next day, we'll just do our art project. Well, that day, it was 9:30. We took my little sister to work. And then my mom wanted to go to Christmas tree shops to finish decorating her tree. And she wanted to find some stuff. So I came and I was like, well, since I don't have class this morning, let's go all and then let's go take my sister at 9 a.m. to her job. And then let's wait till Christmas tree shops opens. So what my mom did was we dropped my sister down. Then we went to McDonald's. We got our little breakfast. And then we were just talking. And I feel like that whole day, I feel like she knew something. Just because that whole day felt like a little goodbye. And that day when we finished, we were talking, we were laughing, we were singing, whatsoever. Then I don't know where she stopped the music. And then she was like, oh, hey, so what are your plans for when you move to Florida? And I was like, well, right now I want to finish school, but I'm not going to start school right away in January. I want to work. I want to know, the area where I'm going to be living. And I want to know how things work. And I already found a school. She's like, oh, really? And I'm like, yeah, I heard it's a really good school. And it's like a couple minutes away of where I want to live. And I showed her the school. And she's like, oh, wow, and stuff like that. And she said if the classes would transfer. And I'm like, I think the classes would transfer because most of the classes that I took, I already took them. And then she was like, well, that sounds amazing. You've been doing your homework. So then I told her, she was like, and where are you going to live? And I was like, well, we're thinking about, I have been looking for certain places. And I'm like, it's this much money because other places are really expensive. And I was like, I read the reviews, I saw the pictures, and I saw YouTube videos and stuff like that just because I'm a little extra. And I like to know because I want to know where I'm going to be spending my money. Money grows on trees, but you can't be spending it like it's nothing. So I came and I told her, and I showed her, and she's like, oh my God, that apartment's so beautiful. I'm like, yeah. When we go apartment searching, I want you to come with me. That way you can see, you know what I mean? Because I want to share that experience with you. So then she was like, oh, I'll, she said something there, and I was just looking at her, and she was looking at me like, all happy and whatsoever. And then she came and she was like, oh, well, just want to let you know that whatever happens, keep continuing being yourself, keep continuing doing your things. And she was like, don't let anything stop you. And just know that if I'm not here tomorrow, just know that everything that I taught you, to remember everything that she taught me in a way. I don't know the exact words, but those are what she basically said. And I was looking at her, I'm like, girl, you're gonna be here until like Cristo venga and stuff like that. And we just started laughing, and then we got down, and then went to Christmas tree shops, and then that day I was gonna vlog, and I didn't even vlog. And I was so pissed off when everything happened, because I'm like, I should have vlogged that day. That was like my last moment with her. Like, it was like an amazing day. So then I came, and then we finished Christmas tree shops. She found nice pillows to finish up her little decoration that goes with her tree, because she is obsessed with that bird. I don't know the name of the bird right now, but she's obsessed with that bird. Then we went to Hobby Lobby. Then in Hobby Lobby, she went to find these little flower thingies that she was going to put it on the tree. And then I was showing her what I want for decorations in my house, because I love farmhouse. If you guys know, I love girasoles. Like, I love girasoles. And I feel like I'm like a farm girl. Like, that's my theme. Like, farm girl. Like, that's it. Point blank. Farmhouse. Everything is like greenery, browns. I love browns. And I was showing her all the decorations that I wanted. I'm like, oh, I want this for the bedroom. Oh, I want this for this and whatsoever. And I'm like, dude, and it's 50% off. And she was like, oh my God. And I'm like, yeah, we were going to buy it that day. But then I was like, oh, it's not going to fit in the car, because I had my SUV. I didn't have like the van. So then she was like, oh, so we'll come back later. And I was like, okay, that's fine. We could come back during the week. And I was like, I'll let Jimmy know to see what he likes that way. Because I like to consult with Jimmy. I like to see, hey, do you like this decoration? Or what do you think about this? So I was like, oh, I'll let Jimmy know. And then whenever we come back to buy it, we'll buy it. So he's like, okay. Then when we're going to go home, we're going to buy the dogs chicken, because we give our dogs regular chicken. So then she was like, oh, while I get the chicken, can we stop at the store right here real quick? And I was like, Mommy, I have class. And then she was like, oh, but let me go. And I'm like, but Mommy, I have class at 12:30, and it was already 11:50. And I know she takes forever. So then she was like, okay. And I'm like, I'll be fast. And I'm like, okay, so go. And I thank God that I was like not fighting about it. I'm like, I'm always early to class. I'm always, on point with my class. If I'm like a couple minutes late, I don't think the Spanish teacher is gonna say something. So I was like, okay, that's fine. And I just let her be and whatever. And let me tell you, she didn't even take 30 minutes or 20 minutes in the store. She just went inside the store. She got whatever she needed to get. And then that's it. So then we went home. Then I went upstairs, did my class. And then my mom told me to order my little sister Olive Garden, because it was her birthday. So my mom wanted to buy her lunch and whatsoever. And I know that my mom likes sopa toscana or something like that. And I was like, I think it has like bacon pieces and whatsoever. My mom's obsessed with that. So I was like, okay, well, since I'm gonna be ordering, I'm not gonna be going downstairs and be like, hey, give me the card. If I have money, why won't I just pay it myself? So I came and I bought her 2 soups. And then I didn't buy myself anything because I just finished eating McDonald's. So then when class was over, so I did it while I was in class. And when class was over, I was like, hey, Ma, the food's ready. Let's go pick it up. She's like, you ordered it already? I'm like, yeah, I ordered it. I paid it while I was in class. And she's like, es lo que tú haces. Tú tienes teléfono. I'm like, girl, if you only knew. I'm on TikTok while I'm in class. I'm on YouTube while I'm in class. And I'm on Instagram while I'm in class. But don't worry, I got good grades. And she's like, más te vale. And I just started laughing. I'm like, dale, vamos. Because, I wanted to leave. That day, I had to work from 3 p.m. to 11. And I came and I told my boss, I'm like, hey, I'm not going to be able to make it for personal reasons, because I just wanted to use my sick hours. I just want to spend that day with my mom. It was an amazing day. Plus, it was my sister's birthday, and I don't want to miss it, because that was going to be my second to last birthday with my sister. So, the thing is that my boss was like, oh, no, it's fine, whatsoever. And then, she found coverage. My boss found coverage. I'm like, hey, I haven't had a chance to find someone. She was like, oh, no, it's fine. I have Dara, which was one of my friends, come cover for you. So I came and I was like, oh, that's perfectly fine and whatsoever. So then we went to pick it up. When we went to pick it up, we were laughing and whatsoever. But then my mom started feeling this chest pain. My mom has been having chest pains for over than a year. She's been to doctors. They haven't even diagnosed her with anything. They keep saying that supposedly it's the pressure in the heart every time she coughs and whatsoever, and that she has to keep taking her asthma pumps and that little night thing. The thing here is that she's been to doctors, she's been on x-rays, she's been on whatever it is, she's been on medications, and nothing's been helping her. So she's been taking these little pills that are, it's called Bayer. And she bought like 6 bottles of Bayer. And every time when she like takes it, she feels a little better. But then later on, it keeps happening, but every time it gets worse. So that day, she had 2 chest pains. One when we were going to Hobby Lobby, and then she had to put her hand against the wall, and I'm like, Mommy, you want to sit down? She's like, no, it's fine. And then she kept going. And then that's the thing that I love about her, because even though she's in pain and even though she has rheumatoid arthritis, she always pushes herself. But that day, she pushed herself so much. I kept telling her, you want to go to the hospital? Hey, I need to, you know what I mean? Like, we need to do something because you had it 3 times. And she's like, no, it's fine, because she wanted to finish up everything. She wanted to finish her tree that day because it was my sister's birthday. Then she wanted to decorate the house and everything because it was my sister's birthday. So my mom went to the dollar store. She got her balloons. She got her everything pink because my sister loves pink. She's obsessed with pink. She brought my sister the food. And then she gave my sister a hug and whatsoever and blah, blah, blah. And while I was in the car. And then we went back and then we finished finding some stuff. And then my mom was like, okay, so let's go home. That way when your dad comes, I can send you to, how do you say, buy the viandas, because my sister, every year, she doesn't ask to, like, go to restaurants or whatsoever. All she asks for is sancocho. So my mom was like, oh, well, you guys buy the stuff for the sancocho. I'm going to finish up the tree. She was almost done with the tree. And then she added everything. It looked perfectly cute, so beautiful and everything. And then so that I can pick up the cake because my aunt does cakes. So then when we went to pick up the cake, everything is fine whatsoever. And then my dad was like, oh, instead of us picking up your sister, because it was about to be 5, and my sister came out at 5. And he was like, oh, instead of picking up your sister at 5, let me drop this at home. That way I can help your mom, and then you go pick up your sister. I'm like, okay, it's fine. So I came and I called my mom. And then I was like, Mami, si me puede abrir la puerta porque el bizcocho pesa y yo no lo quiero dañar because it was so beautiful and it was really big. And I'm like, el bizcocho pesa y ahora mismo papi va a bajar la cosa para el sancocho. So she acted perfectly fine. She like, see, with her normal voice. She's like, sí, mami, está bien, yo te abro la puerta and whatsoever. I didn't even last 2 seconds because we were going up the hill up to my house. So then when we go up the hill, when we turn to the street, when we get there, I get down with the cake and then I'm rushing that way I can help my dad. So when I open the door was a little open. And then when I go in, I see my mom leaning against a chair. We have like chairs and the dining table chairs. She was leaning against it. I'm like, Mami, tú estás bien? And when she turns around, her face is all red. And she's like, ay, ay. And then she started saying that her chest hurted and everything. And then she was asking God. She was saying, ay, Dios, quítame esto. Ay, ay, you know, I don't know what. So my dad's like, oh, what's wrong? And my mom just started looking up to the sky, saying, Dios, ayúdame, and everything, because it hurt. And I don't know the pain that she had. So I can't compare it to anything. So I'm like, Mami, tú estás bien? And my dad quickly looked for the machine. And then he thought it was because she couldn't breathe. So then we started giving her the pumps and whatsoever. And then I don't know what happened. And my dad's like, oh, go pick up your sister. She's going to be fine. Because every time when that happens to my mom, she's usually fine. So then I go pick up my sister. And I was like, oh, Wing, I'm here to pick you up and whatsoever. So my sister took a while to get out of work. So then we ended up going to Starbucks. And then, because when it's Starbucks, when it's your birthday, Starbucks gives you a free drink. So we went, and then when my sister went to call my dad, she was like, hey, do you want Starbucks? Does mommy want Starbucks too? My dad's like, no, I don't want anything. Neither does your mom. We're going to the hospital. And then I'm like, and my sister's with her face. She's like, oh, Papi's in the hospital with mommy. He told us to go. And I'm like, okay. So we got our Starbucks, and then we had to go to Target to get some stuff. And then we went straight to the hospital. Mind you, I didn't even eat all day. So I'm like, oh, we're going to be here for a while. I'm hungry. So I only ate McDonald's, which was at 9 in the morning. So I'm over here like, and my sister got me Starbucks as well. So then we're going to Starbucks and I'm drinking my drink. We're over here laughing. We're over here singing and whatsoever. Because it's my sister's birthday. We're hyping each other up when we go to the hospital. My dad's like, oh, your mom's really bad. And he was like just explaining to us. So then they didn't let us park and they didn't let us go inside because of COVID. So there can be no one waiting for no one. So then we waited in the car, and then we didn't find parking, so they didn't let us park in another area. So we had to park up the hill in Bay State and then just park park far away. And then we were waiting, and then they called us, and then they said that my mom's still under surveillance and stuff like that, that they're trying to know what's wrong with my mom, that they won't know anything until like a couple of hours, that if we want we can go home and whatsoever. So we went home, we got the dog's chicken again, and then my dad bought a lot, that way we won't, because we're not gonna be there the whole day, and then probably the next day it's gonna be a little hectic and whatsoever. So then my dad was like, oh, so we're gonna get the dog chicken. We get the dog chicken. When we got home, we didn't even leave like 20 minutes, 25 minutes, hasn't even passed an hour. They come and they call us. They're like, oh, we're going to need you to come back. We're going to put you in a little room and stuff like that. We have a waiting room all set for you. I'm like, a waiting room? And I'm like, why they made us waste our time and our gas for a waiting room? If right now it's like, we could have stayed there. So then, long story short is that they had us in the room. And then when we walked in, I walked into the room and I'm like, why is there so many punches on the walls? Like, the walls were dented. And I'm like, what is this? And then they have us there. They're like, oh, do you want water? And we're like, oh, no, we're perfectly fine. And then when we walk in, we're sitting down, and then the social worker comes in, and she's like, oh, your wife is under I don't know what. She started telling us stuff like that. And then they're trying to know what happened. And then my dad was explaining to them that we found her against a chair, whatsoever. Now, nowhere, she opens the door. And when she opens the door, 5 doctors come in. And I'm like, oh, no. I've seen this in movies. I've seen this in TV shows. And I'm like, oh, no. And then my heart just started racing. And I'm like, okay, I know today's the day that I'm not going to see my mom again. I already knew I wasn't going to see my mom again. So then I came, and then they were talking and whatsoever. And then there was a doctor of lungs, the heart, and I don't know what the other 2 were, or the other 3 were. But all 5 doctors were specialized in 5 different things. So right now, the doctor said that my mom had died twice. And then he said that she died on her way to the hospital. And then he said that he spoke to her and he told her, hey, if something happens to you again, what do you want us to do? And then he said that she told him that she wants to continue living, to do everything possible, that she wants to continue living, and to bring her back if he needs to bring her back. So then I can just imagine my mom saying that. So that part hurt me. And then they basically said the way that they treated us was so bad. They basically said that there was no hope for my mom and whatsoever, and that they lost, they basically ganchal their guantes, they couldn't do anything. And then my dad was in denial, I guess, in the moment. He was like, oh, so my wife's gonna be okay? And then the social worker was like, honey, I don't think you understand. Your wife passed away. And then that the máquina, they put her like a máquina. So the máquina is the only thing that's giving her pulse. And then my dad was like, oh, but if she told you she wanted to live, just do everything that you gotta do to make her live. And then they were rude about it. And then I'm just like, why are you doing that? So then they're like, honey, but is that we don't have any hopes or anything. And my dad's like, listen, you guys are the doctors. You guys do whatever you guys gotta do. I don't care about paying about anything. I don't care about anything. She told you she wanted to live. So just do whatever she gotta do. And then the man that's above there, he's gonna take care of the rest. But I need you guys to do your work and just do what you gotta do. I don't care. My plan is gonna cover everything. And whatever my plan doesn't cover, I'll cover the rest. But I need you to do something. So I'm like, okay, sir, so what we're going to do is we're going to give her this, but we need you to sign it just in case something happens. We're not assured that whatever that we do, the surgery that they're going to do, she might die, but they were saying basically that she might die or she might live, but there's more of a chance that she's going to die. So the way that they said, it's just the way that they said it. They treated us so horrible. I understand that you guys are stressed. I know COVID just messed up with everything, but the way they treated us was so horrible. Like, you can't just put our hopes up saying that your wife is fine and not tell us that she didn't die. Tell us that your wife is okay to come down, that we have, make us go home, then make us come back, have us a waiting room when you could have given us a waiting room. You could have given us a little update. No, they had us in suspense. So they had us, our hopes down, hopes down, hopes up, hopes down. And then what got me mad is that the way they said it, like, oh, your wife died. And it's just like, and you see my dad and my sister crying, and I'm just here like, what? And I just already had a feeling, and I'm like, my mom died. Like, wow. My mom died. Like, what is this? This is unreal. This is, like, I had to wake up. So then I came, and then the doctors were like, oh, while we get ready for the surgery, we're going to let you guys see your wife. And then you guys can say goodbyes just in case something happens. So I'm like, okay, I get to see my mom. I get to touch her hair. I get to rub her hands. And no, the social worker messed things up. That's the part that gets me so mad. I recorded it. I don't know if I'm gonna put it in, but I recorded it. And she basically did, the 5 doctors have more say than the social worker. Like, why did she have to change things up? Like, yo no le deseo mal a nadie, but if she was in the situation, she would want to say goodbye to her mom personally. She made us say goodbye to my mom through the phone. We had to teach my dad how to use FaceTime within 3 seconds, and she was rushing my dad. The doctors just left. Why are you rushing my dad? Why are you holding him and pushing him to the side? She's like, come on, we gotta go, whatsoever. And I'm like, what are you doing? You're just a social worker. Like, stop taking decisions. And I came and I'm looking at her, and I said it out loud, and I'm like, this is the reason why at that age, yo me puse a little bit guapita. I was like, this is the reason why there's so many punches in the thing. And she looked at me, and I'm like, shaking my hand, and I kept showing my dad me and my sister were showing my dad how to do the messenger thing. So then my dad comes, and he calls while he's walking. And then we just see my mom there, and I'm just like, this is real. I see my mom on the side with a tube in her mouth, and she's like unconscious with her eyes open, and it's like she's there, but she's not moving. And I'm just like, and you see my dad, so we had to say goodbye, and then I'm just like over here saying goodbye, and then my sister said goodbye. My dad didn't even get to say goodbye, because she was like, okay, you're gonna have to end the call and hurry up, we have to go whatsoever. And I'm like, dude, like, they just left. You have to take time. They have to wash their hands. They have to prepare themselves, put this thing and whatsoever. Then they have to prepare the tables and whatsoever. Why are you rushing? What gets me upset is that my dad even gets to say a proper goodbye to my mom. And then my cousin came over. We texted him that my mom's in the hospital, and I came and I started calling everyone. I started texting, and then I put on Instagram for everyone to pray for my mom. And then I put on Facebook, hey, I'm gonna need everyone. While my sister was calling the aunts and everyone, I'm like, hey guys, it's the 911 moment. I don't ask for anything, but I'm gonna need you guys to pray for my mom. And my mom's really sick, and it's like life and death. And then I'm over here thinking, oh, with the Pueblo praying, because I know a lot of people. Everyone knows I'm very hyped up, and then that I'm very happy, joyful, and everything. But I am happy that everyone was up, like, they were like on me. They were like, oh, I'm gonna pray for your mom and stuff like that. And everyone started sharing it. Everyone started commenting. Everyone started texting me. And I was like, oh my God, like, God's gonna do something, because everyone's praying about it. My mom's a guerrera. My mom isn't a bad person. And I'm like, I'm gonna see mommy today. But then deep down in part of me, there was another part of me that's like, no, you're not gonna see your mom today. Like, you had your moment with your mom.